How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Review, back with a new brewery time. Kind of excited for this one. A little bit of River Roost up in this piece in the form of their Glimpse Double India Pale Ale. Yeah, this is 7.8% alcohol by volume. There is no date on this can that I can see. And this comes courtesy of my boy Nick. He sent me off a bunch of beers from up Vermont way. And this one I'm very intrigued about. I've heard quite favorable things about River Roost. I've been close to the brewery a couple times with all the intention of stopping on my way back from hanging out in Vermont, and I just never got there. It's not like if you kind of pinpoint that kind of Stowe area, if you're going south, it's kind of on the way, but not really, and yada, yada, yada. I've never went. I mean, I planned to go, and then pandemic hit, and that kind of put the kibosh on everything, so we'll see what's what. Label-wise, it's cool, man. It's like fingerprints with a keyhole kind of thing going on. I don't know. I kind of like it. I can get down with it. Font design is a little weird, but what are you going to do? Beer-wise, rich orange core, little cataracty edges, pinky finger just off white head. It looks the part of a big double hazy. Let's get a nose. Ooh. Hey there. How you doing? This beer's kind of aggressive in a very unique kind of way. I'm getting almost like a over-ripened stone, undersweetened to over-ripened stone fruit with a scalliony weediness. You don't get that combination. At least I don't get that combination a lot. Not really sweet at all. There's this ranky-dankiness to it, and then there's this kind of this stone fruit, almost like stone fruit melon component, but it's undersweetened. Like it's over-ripened, but it just never got sweet in that process. Weird. When I do that, when I say that, like over-ripened but undersweet, you almost want to be like, don't you mean kind of like under-ripened? Because then it wouldn't be sweet. There's this really kind of spritzy kind of hardness. Like when you bite in an under-ripened fruit, it's hard. It's not soft. So it has this kind of almost like, it's not tannic like wood, but kind of like that texture and taste-wise, because it's undersweet. This doesn't have that kind of vibe to it. It has that fruit component to it, but it's more of a kind of fermented kind of fruit, but it never got sweet enough to really kind of bring that kind of sweetness along with it. And that greenness. I mean, this is the weirdest nose that I think I've explained in quite some time. We're just going to dive in. Cheers. I really like this beer. It tastes exactly like it smells. So there is this little weedy, dank, green grassy kind of scalliony thing going on. It's not hyper aggressive. It drinks below its weight class because we're off the ABV 7.8, so 8% beer. It drinks more like a 6.5, but it gives me that kind of scalliony, ranky dankiness thing that I really enjoy. Again, I don't know how to describe it better. It tastes like a matured fruit that just never got its sweetness. That's kind of how it comes off, and it's very much like a stone fruit, very much like a melon thing, but there's just not that sweetness involved. It doesn't have that hardness, that kind of newness that a lot of kind of new, fresh fruitiness kind of has. So the way it's coming off, it might be slightly oxidized. I think that's maybe where this is kind of going. It looks like it might have a little bit of oxidation going on, but it's not affecting the beer. It's not like a wet papery cardboard thing. A lot of times when I get a beer that has a bit of oxidation going on, if it's mild and that's initial kind of steps, it just basically dampens the fruit portion of the beer here, and I think that might be what's going on here. But put it this way, it's an undersweetened beer. I get hints of those fruits. That little bit of scalliony, ranky-dank thing is there, so I still enjoy this beer in the state it is. I just don't think it is what this beer was when it was fresh. There's no date on the can, so I can't really speak to that any form or fashion. White River Junction, Vermont, for those playing along at home. But yeah, I like where it is, even if I think it has that kind of oxidative issues kind of going on. You're allowed to. You're allowed to do that. I'm allowed to like it. It's my channel. I'll like it if I want to. How about that? I'm really curious to try some other stuff from these guys, because I don't think this is a fair example of what they do. But it's almost one of those things where I think the beer is past its prime in some form or fashion, whether it be it was sitting in a lot of non-refrigerated kind of environment for quite some time, has a little bit of time on it, if there's a little bit of extra oxygen can, yada, 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 whatever it may be, I really do think this beer was quite a bit different when it originally was released. So I'm curious to see what some of their other stuff tastes like with not what I assume is a little bit of oxidative issues. But we can only speak to the beer that we have now. We're going to go under the assumption there is a bit of oxidation going on in this beer. I'm still impressed. Even though I wanted something a little bit more kind of wow factor when it came to the beer, I'm still impressed because I really do like this beer. I like the way it's drinking. Even though it probably has a bit of those issues going on to be sturdy enough and to be drinkable enough to, stand up to those issues, I think makes for a really good beer. Yeah, fun. Cool experiment. I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm going to have to lean into some online beer reviews on this one. I know. God damn, who the fuck would go online to look at beer reviews? Crazy people. That's who. And see if I'm way off the mark here as far as my palate and what I'm tasting and stuff like that. It could just be me. I mean, I could just suck. But yeah, I like this. I think it's fun. Isn't one of the better double IPAs I've had. I was like, let's put it in there, but we're not going to put it towards the top. It's not traditional. Let's put it away. And the way this is drinking right now, the state it actually is coming off, this is not like a Haze Boy Hop Thotty kind of thing where they go gaga for it. But I think there's funness in here to be had, and I like it. Value and availability, no idea. Nick, let me know what's what and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like non-overly sweet double IPAs that have a little bit of ranky-dank going on, because that's where this beer sits for me. But like I said, asterisks. I think this beer is a little bit different when it was originally brewed. So there you go. Reviewing the Bucks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Messy. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little River Roost right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.